Coming up on Good Morning Indian Country, we'll take you on a special look of the bison harvest and cookout on the campus of Haskell Indian Nations University.
And we will preview what a government shutdown could mean for Indian Country. Those stories and more just ahead. Stay with us. Welcome to Good Morning Indian Country. I'm Shia Blackcloud.
And I'm Allison Levering. We're coming to you live inside of our studio inside of Stauffer Flint Hall at the University of Kansas.
Today is Orange Shirt Day, more formally known as the National Day of Remembrance. This day is widely recognized on September 30th each year in the United States to honor Indian boarding school survivors, the children who never made it home, and their families.
The remembrance coincides with the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation Day in Canada. Originally known as Orange Shirt Day after survivor Phyllis Jack, whose orange shirt was given to her by her grandmother, was confiscated when she arrived at one of Canada's residential schools. People in both countries are encouraged to wear orange shirts today to acknowledge the struggles and intergenerational trauma that has followed the history of the schools.
The federal government fiscal year ends at midnight tonight, meaning the government will shut down and dozens of services to tribal nations will be cut off if a new spending deal isn't reached in Congress. A shutdown is something tribes can't afford. While tribal nations and communities depend on hundreds of thousands of government personnel and programs for roads, tribal police, energy, healthcare, food, and other programs. During a shutdown, certain functions and personnel can be deemed essential and continue to operate during the shutdown, including the Indian Health Service.
But IHS isn't completely out of harm's way. Lease payments are not included in the advance appropriations, and a prolonged shutdown could prevent IHS from issuing payments to tribes, according to the National Congress of American Indians. Any shutdown would be the result of a failure for Republicans and Democrats to agree on passing a new funding bill. Both chambers of the U.S. Congress are controlled by Republicans, but the Senate is short of 60 votes needed to pass the 2026 spending bill.
It was a time of connection and celebration as Haskell Indian Nations University hosted its second annual bison harvest and community cookout this weekend. GMIC's Millie Favela was there and brings us the sights and sounds of this community favorite event.
The aroma of smoked meat filled the air at Haskell's powwow grounds as hundreds of people waited in line for their chance at freshly cooked bison for the second annual Bison Community Cookout on Sunday. The bison was donated by the Osage Nation, and after the bison harvest on Saturday, was smoked for roughly 10 hours. Ribs and brisket were served along with sides from Waldulesi's in Kansas City and local fry bread.
I know my people back home, it is to spread that good word, but also everybody eats. Everybody needs to eat, right? So for us, that looks like just sharing that plate, setting table and serving and giving back what's been given to us.
But the cookout wasn't just about full plates and filled bellies. Intertribal connections and local community engagement is at the heart of this event.
It's just sharing that connection with each other and with the earth, and that, you know, the earth has everything that we need. I think that that's kind of the intention. Education, bringing people together, restoring that connection that we have.
There is this social disconnect with food to your plate and what that looks like. So just getting the community to kind of see what goes on behind the scenes, you know, not just a hamburger on your plate or not just, you know, brisket being served, but what it looks like from harvest to finish.
This event is quickly becoming a community favorite, with many in attendance already looking forward to next year. For Good Morning Indian Country, I'm Millie Favela.
The event was a big learning experience for the public about the meaningful ways Indigenous communities utilize the bison, from their hide to their meat.
Before the cookout came a day of harvest. The Lawrence community was invited to be part of the process, learning what it takes to embrace food sovereignty from harvest to plate. GMIC's Caden Barrett shows us how the community came together. Take a look.
The Haskell Powwow Grounds were teamed with community and native tradition on Saturday during Haskell's annual bison harvest. In its second year, the harvest and subsequent cookout brings together the Lawrence, Haskell, and neighboring Indigenous residents in a special event that builds connections through education and sharing a meal. Because for some, the harvest is a way to look at a past way of life. For others, it is a way to bring their past and culture back to life.
It builds community because they do it together. And then tomorrow we'll eat together, right? So that's what it's really about. It's like getting the community to come out, education, learning from one another.
Thanks to the support of nearby tribes, there is no shortage in sight for Haskell when it comes to buffalo.
Like we've got probably 5 or 6 more years worth of doing it. but you know, these folks have herds, and so that's what they do. You know, it's and that's what they told us, is that they're anything we need, you know, they let them know. And so,
along with connecting natives in the area, these special occasions allow Haskell to engage with the Lawrence community that has supported them in difficult times.
And not just our powwows and our art market, you know, but some of these things that we get to share with them that are really special things that we do as part of our traditional ways.
Education can still be at the forefront of this out-of-school event.
That's what our institution's about, you know, is education. And, you know, we educate in a classroom, but this is the kind of education you don't get in a Western society, you know, normal classroom.
For Good Morning Indian Country, Caden Baird.
Annual Welcome Back Powwow happened this past Friday. I've heard that it was a good time. Here's GMIC's Jaden Hill with more on the powwow.
The Welcome Back Powwow at Haskell Indian Nations University brings students and community members together at the start of the school year, with drums, dance, vendors, and something extra this year.
Down on I think it's the north side of the powwow grounds, there's a tent being run by the IHS, and if you have an account with the IHS, you can get a free COVID and flu vaccination, and they also are doing sexual health testing down there.
Knott says that access matters, especially as vaccines become harder to afford.
The COVID shot is recently getting a lot harder to get. A lot of insurance companies aren't covering it anymore, so it might cost money. I heard it can cost anywhere from $50 to sometimes even $200.
For vendors, the powwow is part business, part reunion.
I just love coming here and talk to everybody. Like, we don't do this like as a living, so it's like our fun time.
White Hat says Native-owned vendors thrive in Native spaces. Some have been showing up for more than a decade. From new students finding their way to elders reconnecting, the powwow marks a return and a reminder. The event leads to more gatherings throughout the year, including an upcoming art market on October 4th and 5th. For Good Morning Indian Country, I'm Jaden Hill.
The Welcome Back Powwow is always a good time. It allows the public to see our traditional dances, music, and to enjoy our good food.
The 2025 Haskell Indian Art Market is set for this weekend at the Powwow Grounds on Haskell's campus. The annual market features a variety of artists, artisans, and vendors.
It's an event many of us look forward to every year, and we are hoping to get great weather this weekend. Emma, are we in luck?
Thanks, Shia. And yes, the weather for this weekend is looking pretty nice. Lots of sunshine and warm weathers. More on that here in a little bit. Talking specifically now for the continuation of this week, as we start to get into that early first week of October, our temperatures are continuing to rise throughout this week, so not quite feeling like that nice fall weather just yet. Along with that, our pretty healthy mix of sun and clouds all this week. No real rain happening until early to late next week. Also with that, higher wind speeds averaging between 5 and 10 miles per hour, capping off all the way up at 16 miles per hour later on this weekend. Taking a look now at Wednesday's forecast, a high of 86 degrees, partly cloudy skies with lower wind speeds. Our wind speeds are currently going to be sitting at around 9 miles per hour. Our humidity is sitting at a pretty average spot, 53%. So with those clouds and those warmer temperatures, it's going to feel like a pretty nice day here in Lawrence. Taking a look now at Wednesday, our hourly planner, 12 p.m., 81 degrees, mostly sunny skies, so our clouds haven't really started to pop out just yet. By 2 p.m., we're up to 84 degrees. By 5 p.m., those clouds have all the way dissipated and we've dropped down to 83 degrees. So those portions for those clouds are going to be happening between 3 and 4 p.m. So not that much clouds happening on Wednesday, but still going to feel pretty nice. By 8 p.m., we've dropped all the way back down to 72 degrees. Once again, those clouds are all the way gone, all clear skies throughout the night. Our wind speeds are also going to reflect this change in temperatures. At 12 p.m., 7 miles per hour. By 5 p.m., they've risen to 8 miles per hour, but by 8 p.m., we've dropped all the way back down into 4-mile-per-hour winds. Wednesday night's forecast a low of 58 degrees, so not really too chilly outside. Like we said, clear skies, light wind speeds, and a rise in humidity just a little bit all the way up to 76%. Taking a look now at Thursday's forecast, a little bit of a rise in temperature as well, 88 degrees, all sunny skies though, no chance of clouds happening. Average wind speeds and humidity as well. Our humidity will be sitting at 55 degrees and our wind speeds at 9 miles per hour. Now here in a little bit, we'll talk about an upcoming hurricane that's blowing its way through the East Coast, as well as some local sports forecasts along the East Coast. But for right now, back to the desk.
Thanks, Emma. After the break, GMIC's Jaden Hill has more details about the Prairie Band Potawatomi Veterans Powwow.
Good Morning Indian Country is supported by Press Forward, the nationwide initiative strengthening communities through local news.
Welcome back. Many gathered at Prairie People's Park this weekend for the annual Veterans Powwow. Jaden Hill takes us there.
That's right, Shia. This weekend, the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation brought generations together to honor Native veterans through song, dance, and ceremony. I went to the annual Veterans Powwow to hear what the gathering means to people who return year after year.
The Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation welcomed families, elders, children, and service members to their Veterans Powwow, an annual tradition built around honor, healing, and community.
Today is the Wadawsa Powwow, and that is for veterans. Wadawsa is veterans in our language, and today is just to honor them, and I think it's really important to be able to honor all the veterans in their service.
Garcia teaches the Potawatomi language to youth and adults and says the powwow brings together every generation.
I think my favorite part is just that it's a smaller scale, like, community powwow. So it's really nice to see everybody in the community, you know, wearing whatever they have to get out and dance and just enjoy each other.
For veterans like Franklin Parker, the day carries weight and remembrance.
This is a celebration for all veterans, not only Native, all veterans. And a lot of those songs has prayers in them. And a lot of people are praying for somebody that might not be here.
The powwow also lifts up Native artists and small businesses.
It's pretty exciting. I love coming out to the powwows. We try to come out to any powwow that they have here and set up.
For many, it's not just ceremony. It's connection, music, and heritage carried forward. The powwow continues to grow, bringing families and friends together to honor those who served. For Good Morning Indian Country, I'm Jaden Hill.
Organizers say the powwow continues to grow as more families return each year to honor loved ones who served and those who never made it home. Over to you, Allison and Shia.
Here's Emma with more weather. Emma?
Well, along the East Coast later on this week, a hurricane has already begun to form. Hurricane Imelda is set to hit the Bermuda area late Wednesday night. Now, this is only happening just one day after Hurricane Humberto traveled past that same area. Both storms will plan to leave coastal flooding, high surf, and rip currents behind in their wake, and will probably be impacting areas from Miami all the way up to Savannah. Now, a hurricane warning has already been issued and is currently in effect in Bermuda in anticipation for Hurricane Imelda. And now, also taking a look at our sports forecast for that East Coast area. If you are planning to travel or will be in the Orlando area this weekend for the KU football game against UCF, you can expect to see a high of around 83 degrees, scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout that day, some of which are being brought on from those hurricanes passing through the area. Higher wind speeds and humidity as well. Humidity sitting at 74% currently, and our wind speeds all the way up to 16 miles per hour. Talking now about some Haskell sports, the men's cross country will be traveling to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to compete this weekend. There they will be facing a slightly cooler high of 71 degrees, a pretty healthy mix of sun and clouds throughout that day. Average wind speeds and humidity as well. Our humidity is sitting at 62%, so just a little bit below that Florida humidity, and our wind speeds are sitting at only 8 miles per hour. Taking a look now at our extended forecast for the week back here in Lawrence. Wednesday, like we said earlier, a high of 86 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Lots of sunshine after that though. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all sunny skies all the time, and with that is also bringing those higher temperatures. Our high for the week is going to be on Friday, sitting at 89 degrees. By Sunday, we still are sitting in those high 80 temperatures, but our clouds have started to come back just a little bit. Partly cloudy skies Sunday and Monday. By Monday, we are going to start seeing some of that fall weather dropping all the way down to 73 degrees. And by Tuesday, those showers are going to start to pop up in the morning and will only continue to grow as we get further into the month of October. Well, that's all we have this weather this week. Back to you, Shia and Allison.
After the break, GMIC's Millie Favela will give us a roundup of sports. Stay tuned.
Thank you to the Henry Luce Foundation for their support of Good Morning Indian Country.
Welcome back to your weekly recap of sports all over Indian Country. The Lady Indians of Haskell Indian Nations University played in 2 doubleheaders over the past week. On Wednesday, the team lost in a 4-set match against Missouri Valley College, where they went 25-14, 25-19, 13-25, and 20-25. In the second match against William Woods University, the ladies were swept in 3 straight sets, 25-21, 25-13, and 25-12. On Saturday, the team hit the court for another doubleheader in Salina, Kansas. Despite promising starting sets, the ladies fell to both teams in 3 straight sets each. The first game was against Evangel University, and while the Lady Indians nearly took the win on the first set, 25-22, they fell short in the last 2 sets, 25-14 and 25-18. In the second match against Kansas Wesleyan, the team had strong performances despite being swept in 3 straight matches, 25-19, 25-11, and 16-15. The team put up 25 kills, 24 assists, and 52 digs. Despite the tough losses over the weekend, Haskell continues to lead the Continental Athletic Conference in kills, assists, and digs. The Lady Indians now have 824 kills, 750 assists, and 1,219 digs in just 24 matches. The CAC announced its Defender of the Week, and it's none other than libero and defensive specialist Aliana Doogie. The 5'1" sophomore clocked 57 total digs, averaging 4.3% per set, which ranks her first in the CAC and second in the NAIA. Doogie put up 31 digs on Wednesday and 28 on Saturday, proving the team's consistency in the back row. The Lady Indians will welcome Cotty College tonight on home court at 5, and the varsity reserve team will play at 6:30. Make sure to come in your best orange attire to support the Every Child Matters movement, remembering the children who suffered during the boarding school era, and get a free drink. On the topic of ball in the fall, the Haskell Softball Showcase took place on Thursday ahead of a weekend of dingers and strikes. The Lady Indians hit the road to St. Louis, Missouri for a 4-game fall ball tournament. On Saturday, the team played in a doubleheader against Southwestern Illinois College and Greenville University, which both resulted in a loss. On Sunday, the team took on East Central Community College at 10 a.m. and John Wood Community College at noon. The ladies will be back with some more fall ball later this season. Sichangu Lakota Oyate, or Rosebud Sioux Tribe native Suni Bush, was inducted into the Chad Run State College Hall of Fame this weekend. Per the program booklet, Suni and the Eagles led the Eagles in scoring and rebounds during her career with 1,067 points and 587 rebounds. During her time at CSC, she also posted the second triple-double in the university's women's basketball history during the 2007 through 08 season. Since her graduation from CSC in 2010, she went on to obtain a master's degree in federal Indian law from the University of Oklahoma. With her new degree, Bush was on the Rosebud Sioux Tribe's Director of Legislative Affairs before transferring to the tribe's tribal courts as the Assistant Public Defender last year. Suni is pictured with her 4-year-old son, Parker James Bush. That's all the sports I have for you this week, but make sure to stay tuned after the break for some upcoming local events.
Good Morning Indian Country is supported by the University of Kansas William Allen White School of Journalism and Mass Communications.
Here's a reminder for your weekend plans. The 2025 Haskell Indian Art Market is happening October 4th and 5th at the Haskell Powwow Grounds in Lawrence. The event features Native American artisans selling handcrafted art, jewelry, and pottery, plus cultural performances and food vendors. So come on down. This event is free and open to the public. You don't want to miss it.
An 18-minute screening of Tiger, a short film directed by Lauren Waters, highlights an Indigenous award-winning, internationally acclaimed artist and elder, Dana Tiger, her family, and the resurgence of the iconic Tiger t-shirt company. A discussion will follow with Dana Tiger herself. This will happen on October 4th at 6:30 p.m. in the Haskell Auditorium.
And thanks for watching this episode of Good Morning Indian Country. Another thank you to Press Forward, the Henry Luce Foundation, and the William Allen White School of Journalism for their support of our work.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Good Morning Indian Country. And as always, Indian Country, stay good, and we will see you next week.